Now I'm going to take a fork and just show you kind of more what a fork bite would look like. Nice. Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today I'm going to show you how to make an apple streusel coffee cake, also known as an apple crumb coffee cake. And it's really easy to do, simple ingredients. If I can do it, you can do it. Little fun fact for you. Despite there not being any coffee in this cake, it's called a coffee cake because a lot of times people like to enjoy a piece of it with a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee, but a lot of people love it that way. Really easy to do, simple ingredients. If I can do it, you can do it. Before I move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get baking. Down below in the description box, you'll find the list of the ingredients and their amounts. Also, preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 Celsius. I'm going to begin with one large egg and place that in a large bowl. Take my whisk. Just whisk that up. And now I'm going to add in the milk. I am using buttermilk. 1/2 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, just take normal milk and then add like a teaspoon or 2 of lemon juice or white distilled vinegar to it and just whisk it up and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes and it'll be ready to use as a substitute for buttermilk. Pretty awesome. You can also just use regular milk in this recipe, but if you do, you're not going to use the baking soda and you'll double the baking powder. Whisk this up. I have 1/2 cup of sugar that I'm going to put in there. Whisk that all together. And now I have 1/4 cup of butter and I'm just going to melt this in the microwave for 20-30 seconds until it's melted but not really hot. Or you can melt it on the stovetop. Or you could use oil instead of butter, like coconut oil, avocado oil, vegetable oil. Once the butter is melted, I will pour that in there and give it a good whisk. Perfect. Now I'm going to take a sifter, or you could just whisk the dry ingredients separately in a bowl. And I'm going to add 1.5 cups of cake flour, or you can use all-purpose flour if you want. Cake flour is really nice for cakes. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and this is going to react with that buttermilk. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Again, if you just use normal milk, don't use the baking soda and double the baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Whisk that in to our wet ingredients. And now you can use a whisk or like a spatula and we'll mix this together. All right. And we'll just give the sides a good scrape. And then I have 3 medium Granny Smith apples and I peeled them and cored them and then just chopped them up into little pieces. Not as big as you would for like an apple pie, so just really small chunks. Or you could use like two large apples. You could even use a little bit less if you want. Depends on how many apples you want. I like there to be a lot of apples in the cake. And just stir that all together. like so, okay? Very simple. The batter is ready to go. Really easy. And now I have an 8x8 pan, and I just took some shortening and greased all of the inside and put a little flour in there, and then just tapped it all around to cover up this pan. And this is going to make sure that the cake doesn't stick. So let's pour in our cake batter. Get it all in there. Okay, and then I'm just going to spread this out so it's nice and even. And now I'm going to set this aside for a moment so we can make the crumble or streusel. I'm just going to take that same bowl that I was using with the apples, and then I will add 3 tablespoons of softened butter, 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/3 cup of flour. And then with a fork, we'll just come in here and start blending this together. And then just keep mixing it with the fork until it looks something like this. And it's going to look like kind of large chunks of damp sand. And that is our crumb or streusel topping. Pretty awesome. And then now with our cake, we'll come in here with the crumb topping and just put it all on so it's evenly layered. And this is going to provide a really nice, yummy top crust. I love it so much. And it's up to you how much of this that you add. I love adding it all on. And you could just do a normal coffee cake without this topping if you want as well. And you could leave out the apples and just bake it like that for a plain coffee cake. And now we'll bake it in the oven, again 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 205 Celsius, for 20 to 25 minutes until when you poke it with a toothpick, the toothpick comes out clean. And when it comes out of the oven, it'll look something like this. And then just let it cool at room temperature completely. It'll probably be about 30 minutes or so. And now it's time to cut into this. Yeah. And you can make these pieces as big as you want or as small as you want. But I like to get about at least 6 slices out of this. And it's okay if the top breaks a little bit. That's just the nature of the crumble. All right? And then I'm going to take my cake spatula here and just go around the sides just to make sure that it's loose. It's pretty loose already. And now we got to dig one of these pieces out without mangling it too much. Now I'm going to take a fork and just show you kind of more what a fork bite would look like. Nice. All right, the apple streusel coffee cake is done and turned out fantastic. Remember, you can leave out the apples and leave off the streusel if you want and just have a regular coffee cake and it'll still taste really good. But try it like this first. So delicious, super easy to make. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into this. Oh yeah, Super excited.